Last time on the Adventures of Gaia. Krellin was brought back to the circus, where he was assigned dish duty. Ruja retired to her wagon while Krellin dragged Aurora, Magnus, and Riva to the evening party. The next day, Aristodemos asked the party to fetch some creatures for a new act from some local mines, but Ruja suspected he was assessing the newcomer.
The power, at first, you feel an intense power. It's almost flickering or blinking, and suddenly you remember that power. It's actually the first thing you remember right now is that power of the pods. It's far away.
Deep within the mines are Gaia birthing chambers, and I'm detecting metals and Gaia crystals. I think they mined Gaia metal and Gaia crystals here. But I don't believe I feel any beasts or animals.
Perhaps these beasts are made out of Gaia crystal.
Huh?
Oh, not like the winter ones, I hope.
Oh, that was not.
All we know is that they are fascinating.
That
Yeah.
usually means they're going to try to bite us.
Who has that cube thing? Wait.
Oh, hey!
Did someone... Oh, good. I thought someone forgot it. Okay, just throw it at them as soon as we see them.
Is there any buttons on this? I should probably familiarize. What do I have in my hand? Explain this.
+1. It's a tiny little cube. You've seen, particularly Ruja and Krellin, you're much more familiar with it, but you've seen them as well, Riva. Little cubes that often there's a Gaia crystal, you just press and it will extend into something. Ruja, you actually saw one that someone pressed and threw down and turned into an airship that could move 2 people around. That came into one of your pledges from an admirer, and you pawned it off for something else because you didn't really want to go airship sailing. But it's still quite marvelous.
These sailing guys.
Exactly. You know you don't want to be in with those sailing airship guys. They get around far too much. And so it's a similar cube to that, but you press it, and this one just has a top opening, almost similar to the door, the Gaia door, the way it opens, and a light comes out. You can feel some energy sort of sucking in when you do it.
While they're trying to sort out this...
As I'm like sitting there playing with my face, almost getting pulled in or whatever.
Yeah.
No, you'll suck your face off. What are you doing, Riva? Here, give it to me.
I want to just casually put my hand up to the wall and feel for vibrations within the rock for any creatures or critters.
Absolutely. Good idea. Please roll. What is the roll you need?
I need to go under 109. Well, I got a 12, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you do feel the low hum that you often feel around the Gaia birthing chambers. It's a little intermittent here. It doesn't have a full power. There's also quite an odd bit of a rumble, but it is low. More like movement of some sort. But still far away. You can keep track of it as you move forward.
I want to do this as discreetly as possible.
You just sit back against a rock as they're trying to use the box.
Suck it.
Yeah, they're trying to suck things with the box.
No, now it's trying to suck my face. Oh, okay. Get it off. No, Riva, leave it. Here.
Less? Okay, hold on.
Turn down the suction. I think that's what we want.
I'll endeavor to keep track of that discreetly as we go.
Brucia, you don't notice what Krellin's up to, but you do notice the change in slight movement because you are an observer of all beings. You see that slight change. You actually see the fact that he seems to be being subtle, if you know what I mean.
Wait, Riva, here, I'll show you how to use this. Now, press the button here. Ow, my face.
+2 for dedication to the suck cube, which is now trademarked.
No.
There's a commercial for it.
Copyright.
The GSC.
There's commercials for it. Okay, you find an appropriate setting for the suction on the cube and are able to, you find that it does inhale things, and you find a reverse button that seems to spit the thing back out. You think you've probably got a decent handle on how it works.
Okay.
Aurora has
confident.
wandered a bit. She's looking down the tunnels. She closes her eyes. Oh. Guys, I can't really... it's 50-50. I don't know if it's going to go good or bad. I'm sorry, I can't help more.
Well, that's the fun of it, isn't it? And I start heading down into the cavern.
Does he seem very happy for someone who was just in amongst a bloody bunch of bodies to you guys?
He seems normally too happy. I think it's his intention.
Oh. Okay, Aurora stands...
Follow.
Okay, Aurora stays with Ruja. She's figured that if she stays with her, she'll start being able to learn more about how to read people. She walks behind Ruja, copying her kind of. Like somehow her walk helps her understand things. Okay, you walk in. The mines close in around you. It's still, you can walk 3 across. It's not terribly enclosed. But there's this main track. You kind of pick your way through. The green rock sort of, as you go in and the light from outside disappears, you see the Gaia crystal green glowing. There's been a lot of it. You see the marks along the walls of where it's been mined and pulled out. But it's almost like an emerald that grows and pulses. As you all know, and you've seen that Gaia crystal powers quite a bit. The suction cube box, it powers. There's quite a few other things, and mining is frequent. This mine has been well stripped, however. You see parts of the metal have been pulled down.
Sorry, is anyone having trouble seeing or?
It's dark.
Yes, it's dark. There is enough light, however, it will give you a minus for anyone who cannot either see. Is everyone just blue light vision here?
I am.
Yeah. So Aurora.
I'm infrared.
Oh.
I don't think I can see much.
Well, no, you can walk through and see with the Gaia crystal, actually. You can see quite perfectly. Krellin's walking like there's nothing going on. Magnus uses his sense of touch to negotiate, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
You're a mole?
Yes.
Basically.
He's a mole that reads books.
So
about
good.
snails and moles.
And moles.
Yes, about snails and moles, correct. Yes.
Okay, you just keep your hands out. That's often, you realize now, that's why Magnus is often, and maybe has put himself in a few situations that were a bit off where he accidentally put his hand on someone or somewhere. He says it's accidental. As he's going around to find his way.
It really is.
Okay. Aurora says, I can't really see anything. I can hear.
Oh, let me help you. Okay, I cast a very, very weak form of entropy just for the light.
Oh, good thinking. +1.
I make it.
A tiny little fairy light lights the way. Okay, Aurora stays kind of close to you, Magnus, for the light. Reva probably will as well to be able to see Ruja. You kind of all clump together. And you come into the main mine. You can feel the pods up around this area here, Magnus. You feel that energy up ahead. You also feel a different energy emanating every so often. And that's that pod breakage. You feel and then something breaks off and happens, then it stops. And you also feel an energy of a being. You can't quite tell what it is. You feel both the slight feel of furriness in your hands. Also, you can feel an emanation of some kind of energy. And then also an ichor of some sort, all mixed together.
Where's that coming from?
It's all coming from up ahead of you. It's difficult to tell. You can see as you come out into this mine area... Not as a train, but
We're holding hands.
Yeah. But as you come out, you see there's these switches, these switch carts where the cart would move and go back and forth. You see 2 bridges ahead of you. Here, far, far, far down, the distant noise of water moving around. You hear dripping and clicking and clattering. And it goes on both directions. Anyone with good hearing and Magnus, you can feel that it goes on in both directions quite far off.
So all the action seems to be coming from that top northeast there, the back left there?
Yeah, all up here.
Am I feeling the same with the vibrations?
Yes, you feel vibrations. That's where the hum is coming from, definitely out this way, and some light movement. You also feel a good amount of movement down in this area as well. Now, water is moving down there, but there's also something slightly off.
So when you said I felt the Gaia birthing chamber or the Gaia pod powering up and powering down, powering up and powering down, is that being used? Is it cooking someone right now?
Roll PR. You have been studying stuff.
I rolled 73, and I needed to roll a 175, so that was a critical success.
A critical. It does feel like it's powering up as if it's cooking someone, as you said. However, it's breaking off, like the power disappears for a minute. So if it is cooking someone, they may not come out quite right.
Uh-oh.
It's right there.
Or it's definitely not the way it should be working. And you can actually feel as you get closer, you actually feel that power in the air, which you wouldn't normally feel if the pod was closed. So there's clearly something not right here.
Okay. All right. Well, I think they're in this direction. How many meters away?
It's a good 500 meters.
Half a kilometer, geez. Oh my goodness.
As we approach, perhaps we will want to not announce our presence with the light.
The crystal is glowing quite a bit more in this area, and you are getting light emanating off the water here, almost as if it's lit up below.
Okay. Then if I don't need the light on, I'll turn it off then.
Those bridges up ahead look a bit rickety to me. We should be careful. We wouldn't want to fall in the water. Get our nice nose dirty.
There's bridges? There's water? What?
Ooh,
yes,
that sounds interesting.
An underground river up ahead.
Well, who can cross water? I hope we are all able.
Well, I'm hoping the bridges work, because I don't know if I remember how to do water stuff.
Oh, I'm sure we'll find some other way across.
Oh, good. Okay. Okay, you start to make your way.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's get out of this place. He almost likes it worse than the abattoir.
I saunter over next to the bridge.
Okay.
And then I just casually kick a decently sized rock into the water.
Okay, you go to kick, Krellin, you go to kick a piece of crystally rock it's not glowing anymore. It's clearly been the power and it's gone. You kick it over the edge. You actually look down. It goes down for a long way. It goes tumbling. And then finally you hear as it hits the water.
Long way down. Do I see anything with my infrared in the water?
You actually detect some movement down below. As you've kicked that rock up, you do detect some movement. One moment, however. Okay, the rest of you watch Krellin kicking a rock over. Magnus, you can see across the way now the glow of the pods. They're up here. They've suddenly appeared. You can see them now. There is a bright blue that glows every so often and then stops. You can see a broken off kind of pod piece moved. The top of it is broken and laying on the ground. And you see some tiny little creatures moving around. There's 4 pods in total. You can see them back there because you can see that as that glow goes off, it's quite bright and lights up the whole back part of the cavern.
They're crawling around in that pod room?
Yep. The light's so bright you have to look away just for a minute because it is so dark here. And as you turn back, you see the last of the light materializing a shaggy little purple creature. It has 6 legs and giant green eyes, like as big as almost its whole head, and 2 little glowing antennae at the end. You hear it making weird cooing noises. It kind of stands up on its back 2 legs, the other 4 hang, and it looks over. Those, except for Krellin, because Krellin is looking at something, everyone else can roll their AE.
Does it look like the right size, like the size Aristodemos mentioned?
Yes, it does.
Pass.
Okay.
And I can see enough of them because of the blue light. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah. That broken pod is actually illuminating the whole back of the cavern here.
52 on a 104.
I get 87 on a 73. I fail.
Aurora goes, oh, they're so cute. Magnus, you're overtaken by their cuteness.
Aww, it's like a laser kitty.
Okay, Aurora starts just walking across the bridge. Krillin.
Force field! Underneath the bridge!
Nice job. You may roll. +2 for the idea.
Oh, man.
As Aurora's feet hit the bridge, as she cannot help but move, Magnus, you seem to be quite in love with it, with the little beings as well. You both are moving together. Krillin, you see movement below, underneath the bridge.
Critical.
Nice. How many points does your force field take?
344 points.
Okie dokie. Good.
Cost right.
Okay, you make a
Yeah.
force field kind of under the bridge, extending across the bridge that both Magnus and Aurora have stepped out. And Krellin, this seems, you see that flash. However, below, you start to see movement. Suddenly you see those little creatures' antenna perk all up, and they glow a bright purple, and then they go running back into the pod room. As you see movement below, 2 strange creatures moving. They have 8 legs with little hooks on the end and beaks that clamor, and they're coming up out of the water as they head up the wall towards you.
Ruja has her short bow. She's going to start shooting down at them because high ground.
Yes, absolutely. Magnus, you can roll to notice even though you're enthralled, because the little creatures did give you a bit of a heads up.
Oh, they're so cute. Wait a minute.
Where are they running away?
81. That's a critical on his super perception of touch.
Okay, you
I feel
actually
something else.
you realize now you felt the fuzzy little creatures, and now you're feeling the ichor from down below.
Ick.
Are these the guys we're trying to capture?
These small creatures, Ruja guessed correctly, the small creatures more match the size of what Aristodemos described. These things are quite large.
I see, okay. All right, so it looks like we have some trouble, friends.
Look out! They're underneath us.
What the? Ah! Okay, Aurora jumps back. All right, everyone can roll initiative.
Seeing as though I knew that they were coming,
Yes.
Could I have summoned my psychic blade?
You are pretty much, you saw them coming up from that, so you'll get a plus 100.
Okay. And I can summon then.
I rolled a 3 for initiative. I'm dead last, and I'm just gonna hold my force. I'm gonna hold my force field.
Okay, Magnus, what did you get?
Roll 94 and I get 239.
239?
272.
Okay.
74.
Okay.
96. Well, yeah, I rolled a 3.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's bad.
Krellin, you summon up a long whip-like thing. It's got a golden electricity. It seems to just appear in your hand and whip out. Your hand wraps around the energy that you have there, and you whip it out, and it makes a noise. Everyone around sees Krellin suddenly bring out some sort of weapon out of nowhere. Magnus, you see this happening as Krellin brings this up. You can go now.
Okay. So Magnus decides he's going to take a page out of Aristodemos' book and try to charm/dominate the 2 creatures.
Ooh. You reach out with your mind. How
Black,
many?
Smoky magic comes out of Magnus's eyes and mouth, and he says, "Be at ease, my friends. Be at ease." And I need to roll 202, and I roll 62. That is a critical success.
Fabulous. I assume you're trying to charm both the many-legged creatures as they come up out of the water.
Yes, and I try to make them feel like going back to the water. But the water would be safe.
Now they must roll. When using charm, the question is, does the creature want to do what you're saying? They get a save because they want to attack you right now. The one creature turns and just jumps right back into the water. It thinks this is a fabulous idea. Why attack people when you can swim? The other creature seems to be frozen. It starts moving up slowly and then moving down. You get the sense you're holding it a bit at bay.
I'm holding it there. I don't know how long I can hold it for.
Rija, shoot it!
All right, I'll shoot it.
You have your glowing arrows. You pull back your bow. The arrow sparkles and scintillates. The whole cave is now lit up with colored.
And I rolled a 5.
Critical!
Yay.
Awesome! Okay, you let arrow go. It goes flashing through the darkness and lights up as the creature looks up, as it seems to be confused. Its little beak mouth clicks and clacks away, and you hit it, bam, right in the beak. You see the arrow embed itself right beside where the beak and the fleshy part meet. It squeals and heads back to the water. Between Magnus's suggestion and your shooting, it's decided, maybe you're not worth it.
Magnus's suggestion and my encouragement.
Yeah, exactly. They've both gone under. Boop, 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 boop. Good job, guys. Okay, Krellin, you're standing there with your whip all ready to go. You look down. Seems the monsters have retreated. You still feel rumbling down there, but they don't seem to be coming up towards you as the vibrations seem to recede.
Well, it seems like we're safe for the moment. Not really sure if that'll stay for very long.
All right, good job. +3 for successful combat. Ruja, you let that last arrow go. You feel some kind of cathartic release in shooting and banishing back some beasts. You haven't actually been able to do any fighting or anything really, so it feels a bit like you've taken things back in control. Mm-hmm. Magnus, you start to feel the little creatures coming back out. You hear the cooing of their noise, their little antenna glow. It's gone fairly light again, given all the weapons that have now turned back off.
Come, little beasts. We bear you no ill will. Come.
They're so cute. They can't be tamed. You don't have to tame them. Okay, Aurora starts walking over. She gets down and puts her hand out. One starts climbing over to her. Maybe we can just carry them. I don't want to put them in the suck cube. Okay, she's scritching the little creatures, their little antennas. They're all cooing. They all seem to be starting to surround her, however. There's 1, then 3, then 4, then 6. Suddenly there's more
Viva,
and more.
where's your cube?
Right here. Let me kind of make my way over. I should still have the force field underneath the bridge.
Just to catch everyone. Yeah.
I will use that bridge to cross, not the other.
Good thinking.
Right.
+1.
Yeah.
Magnus, you see that that the pod ahead, you can see the room and you can see that shattered birthing chamber, the way the lid's cracked, and you see the flashing an error on the readout where you would normally access who's in the pod and get that information. And it just seems to be randomly spitting out creatures. They seem to all look like this creature that's been spit out.
Yeah, okay.
You see, it's slowly, you're seeing 6 little feet starting to appear as it's going up.
Weird.
It seems that Gaia is birthing these creatures. Perhaps some kind of malfunction. I don't know.
Guys, there's a lot of them. Okay, suddenly you notice they're coming up from all over the place.
Then I will
off the edge.
Flip the cube on, slap it, right? So high intensity suck, and I'll say, you get sucked off Gaia and into the cube. You get sucked off Gaia and into the cube. No?
Okay.
I'll finally...
Are you holding it or do you throw it down?
No, I was gonna turn it on and
suck it up.
And you.
Okay, you manage to suck up. You get 6, and then suddenly the door on the suck it cube shuts, and the crystal blinks and then goes to red.
So there's still a bunch there, right?
Oh, yeah.
I have my energy whip, and you just hear crackling as I just crack the whip above their, or my energy blade whip, crack the whip above all these creatures' heads.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Riva and Aurora's eyes, as you start to move it, get big, and then and Magnus goes to say something, you crack it up a bit, and all little creatures, their little antennas glow just as you actually, almost as you think to do it, and they start to scamper, and you make a huge noise. It echoes, the cracking echoes through the cave, and they scamper all off.
Perhaps we should retreat.
Well, if we've announced our presence.
Let's keep going.
We can handle anything that comes our way. What are these pods here? What's going on? Were they placed here?
I'm sure Aristodemos knows more than us.
Yes, well, if it is not our concern, it is not our concern.
I don't know how to fix a pod, but there seems to be a lot of creatures here. Krellin, you start to feel a big rumble down below, quite a bit below.
On second thought, I think we should go. I think we should go now.
Magnus, you feel an intense amount of that ick feeling that you felt. It's at least 20 times as much as you felt earlier.
Ick down below, ick down below, ick down below.
Okay. Aurora just turns and starts moving.
I am briskly walking across. I'm not running. Briskly walking.
Oh no. Yeah, okay, I guess I would still have the force field up. Okay.
How long have you... It's been only a few rounds if you've been maintaining it.
Yeah, then that's fine. I guess I would just hold it, but...
Does Riva look tired?
Yeah, I'm doing just fine.
You're doing good, okay.
Don't look that tired. Yeah, concentrating. Not that tired.
Okay, you put your cube under.
Come, fellows, we must leave, come.
I want you... I feel like we should fix the pond. Okay.
Come back.
All right. Okay, she looks down over. You see the water starting to bubble up in the... Quite a ways down, but it's starting to bubble. That's where that vibration, Krellin, and the intense ick, Magnus, is coming from. You start to make your retreat quite quickly. You hear a strange squeal and scream as you make your way down that first, around the cart turntable and down the cavern you entered in.
I'll go last.
You'll go last, okay.
Yeah, and I will kind of look, be kind of skirting over my shoulder. Well, I can feel everything around me, so I'll be waiting for them to come down the tunnel if they do. Okay.
You hear and feel at the same time, Krellin, you feel it as well. You feel the vibration get heavier as one giant tentacle with the little claw on the end hits up, and you hear it scraping. You actually hear it ripping part of the rock away as you make your way down the tunnel and out into the light.
Oh my! Everyone, don't dawdle. Let's go.
Get on your feet. Let's go.
All right, you make your way out of the cavern, finally back out into the light and down the roadway back to the circus. Assuming there's no conversation you intended to have, you make it to the door and quickly get back to the much more civilized and different breed of monster that may be out there, into the city and back to the circus.
Brush any dust off my suit as we're briskly walking away.
Aurora's doing the same. Aurora does the same on her knees where she had been sitting on the ground. Oh, goodness. Okay.
Well, we have Aristodemos' new pets.
Yeah. I just kind of wonder sometimes. She gives you a funny look, Magnus, as you get in. Batya is standing there. Krellin, you have not met Batya yet, but Riva certainly has. Come on, you two. It's lunch. I need your help. Quick. His arms, huge, meaty arms, wave at you in the air.
Riva, I will take the cube to Aristodemos.
Okay, fine. And then I hustle off.
Okay.
I saunter.
Okay. You both head off to the kitchen. Okay, you take the cube. Ruja?
Yeah.
Do you head over to Aristodemos' wagon?
Yes.
Okay, you head over and to meet up with him. Aurora says, as everyone kind of goes away, Aurora grabs you, Magnus. I've got an idea.
What? What's wrong?
Well, come here. Come into the wagon.
Okay.
Okay, she gets in. She's on her hands and knees digging around in something. She pulls out that.
Notice going into the wagon.
Yeah. She pulls out this pad. Yeah, Rouge is like, yep, there they go.
Again.
She pulls out that pad that you had, the one that says crystal with the KRY, balls, BAHLLZ. I was thinking, Magnus, you know the little spy bugs?
Oh, yes. We got them in Canada.
Yeah, exactly. They had good syrup. I'm thinking, what if we sent one to look in Aristodemus' wagon?
Are you sure we should do this?
No, that's why I'm asking you.
Oh, well, I suppose if you... Perhaps we get some information.
Well, it just doesn't make sense to me. And I'm still not, it's a bit sneaky. What do you think?
Well, I don't know.
Great, I'm so glad I asked you. Okay.
Should ask Krellin.
Okay. She actually taps something off, and you see one of the little bugs go off. Magnus, you see on the pad, you see the view of the circus.
It's rude to spy on our host. Who knows what we might see?
No, we might see him with maybe no clothes or something. Okay, it goes off. She mumbles away.
Yes, that would be terrible.
It heads down the little chimney, and you hear, as it comes down, you hear a knock at the door. Ruja, you're standing at the door. Aristodemus comes out and greets you. Mm-hmm. The mission was a success, he points to the cube.
I'll show him the glowing red light.
He smiles.
We did see how they were being created as well. Certainly interesting.
He looks back and forth. He says, I sensed something was going on, but I wasn't quite sure. What did you see, Ruja?
It was a broken birthing pod. Well, broken to some. Working for this.
Really? That's interesting.
There were 4 others like it in the room. Were they all feeding? Were they all making animals? Yeah.
Just the one broken one. The other 3 were fine. They were closed and powered down. There was nothing happening with them.
There were 3 other pods in the room. Not open, but good to know.
Yes, quite good. It's always good to know where there might be extra pods. Ruja, thank you. He smiles, a genuine smile. This time, not his, ting smile. He says, I do appreciate it. He puts his hand out for the cube.
How much? I'll hand it to him. How much do you appreciate it?
He says, oh, you always get me. Okay, he reaches in. He takes out a little pad and reaches out to hand it to you. It has 100,000 core credits on it.
Awesome.
He says, I know things have been, well, normal for us, I guess, but not quite operating the way we'd all love, so I do appreciate you. And if you happen to hear anything about, our party, do let me know.
They are an interesting crew. You know how to pick them.
I do, don't I? He fixes his jacket. Okay, you turn to leave.
Yep.
Magnus and Aurora, you're looking at the pad. She's holding it to you.
He paid her. He doesn't pay us.
Well, she does things. We're new. What do we do? Well, we do stuff, actually. You're kind of right. Okay, you see him walk over. He's got a beautiful wagon. It seems larger inside than it could be from the outside.
That's an interesting trick of the light.
It's got a curtain that seems to go back into another room. There's a bookshelf with all these beautifully bound books, Magnus, and pads lined up. You see some odd boxes around. There's a huge leatherish chair, quite plush and comfortable. He goes over to a cabinet. He pours himself some liquid out of a beautifully crafted carafe, puts it down. He swills it, kind of looks out the window. his velvet curtains back, looks around, takes a drink. And he sits down on the chair and takes another drink, puts it down. Suddenly there's a knock at the wagon. Aurora puts the thing down. You're both surprised.
Oh.
Put it away. Here, grab it. Take it.
Here, no. Snails. Yes, snails.
Okay, one of the crew, Harry, opens up. We need you to...
Yes, Harry.
What are you two doing in here?
Oh, I'm telling Aurora about snails.
Snails. They're very snaily.
Hey, Key.
Kay smiles. We need you guys.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
1 moment, please.
Yep, we just have to put some away. Okay.